gonna, because you don't know where somebody is in their life. So yes, I wanted.
Why did you want to do a play?
Well, because I did theater when I was growing up, and I loved musicals and all sorts of things. So I loved doing theater. So that was I did theater when I first came out here. I did. I did Gypsy, and I was Dainty June. And I fell off the stage one night because I didn't have my glasses on, and I told somebody, when it blacks out, somebody needs to help me. And they didn't. And then I kept walking, and I just fell right into the pit. But I was fine.
And you still do that, yeah.
Yes.
But you couldn't. So I had her come. Actually, this is a little sneaky. You probably don't know this story.
Okay.
I said, come read with another actress that was reading another role. And I just wanted to check you out.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah. And she was so fantastic. I said, oh my God, you have to do the show. And she did. But you couldn't do it right away. My wonderful friend Randy stepped in and played your part.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, that's true.
All right. Why couldn't I do it?
I think you're out of town or something.
Okay. All
And
right.
there's
Cool.
Matt Rose. He's doing a reality show, a video, I guess. Of that. Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about you. So that was the first. The most wonderful one that she did was Yes, Virginia, which is based on my mother and my housekeeper, and played a version.
Yes.
Of
Mom, who I'd met,
Yeah,
who was
many
wonderful
times.
and lovely. And I remember saying to you, so do you want to tell me anything about your mom that I should think of when I'm doing this? And you said, no.
No. Well, I wanted you to make it your
Right,
own.
but I
and
didn't
not
know if I
in-
should, the nuances or something, because, I know I'm just a one-trick pony. And, but no, it worked out beautifully, and it was written, I loved the writing, I loved everything about it.
And we've done it many cities, and we went to North Carolina.
And different women, other
Yes.
partners.
But I'm also the proudest that I got her first Emmy nomination for a web series that called Sex and Execs. And we got to go to the Emmys together.
Mm-hmm. And my son could come, and my brother the whole time kept going, you're gonna get this, Mindy, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this. And I was like, shh, don't do that to me. And I didn't.
It was fucking Jane Lynch. She doesn't
Well,
she doesn't need another Emmy, does
But
she?
I also, I had 2 Emmys. I was up for, they put 2 of mine in. So I was running against myself as well.
That was her mistake, yes.
Anyway, it was fun.
But we got to go.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Were there other plays and things? Along the way, you've read a lot of the plays. Which
Well,
we
I
usually do
did.
in my
You did
li-
readings and stuff at
in
your
my-
place.
In my living room, yes.
Yes.
So that's become... Todd, you've done a couple of those, yes. So it's been known as kind of a salon in my living room, and I drag Peter Golden there, and he's always out the door the minute it's over. Why? He's not going to answer that question.
He doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to tell everybody, the problems.
Oh, yes, he does, actually.
Sitcom theme song show.
Yes. Oh, you were in that.
What did I
about
do?
It's on.
What?
It's on. We didn't talk about that. Thank you.
Oh my God!
Oh, how
We
do
went
you
to
know-
New York. That was my first New
On
York
her fucking
experience.
birthday.
On my
We were
birthday.
at the Signature Theater. So I created a musical with Christian McLaughlin about using TV theme show songs. We used over 40 theme songs in a scripted...
A 2-hour, the show.
You know,
or
with some
whatever.
people like Cheryl Lee Ralph. It was really great.
Oh my God! And what's her name?
Megan
Hilton.
We first started at Gary Marshall. We first started in my living room, and then we went to Gary Marshall's theater and we did a couple workshops. And then I got to take Mindy to New York, which was always my dream to get her on a New York stage. And we were part of NYMF, which was the New York Musical Theater Festival, which is no longer, unfortunately. And Whoopi Goldberg came, remember? one
Yes.
day? It was exciting. And it was right as the Signature Theater opened up, and we got to do 3 sold-out shows, and it was really fun.
Very exciting. Very, very exciting. That was probably the closest I'll ever get to Broadway.
You probably don't even remember the songs you sang. Fresh Prince or something?
Isn't it? No.
Which one did you do?
No, wasn't it? Good Times.
Oh, you sang Good Times. Okay, there you go.
Good Times.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Cheryl Lee Ralph sang Wonder Woman. So one day we'll get to do it. It was really...
Yeah, you tried really hard.
I'm still trying. Although we went to New York to do it, there was a moment where Jimmy Fallon had optioned it, and we all flew to New York
That's
and
right,
did
for
a
a
crazy reading at CAA.
And then it went nowhere.
Well, that's a whole other book. There you go. Oh my God! Does anybody have any questions? Should we start with some questions? Then we could go drink at the London. That's what I really want to do. Yes, you're nodding your head up and down. There's a chapter about Allie Willis, and Prudence, thank you for coming. So you made a wonderful documentary called The World According to Allie Willis, and we were just in Austin at South by Southwest, and I cried again watching that.
Aww.
So thank you for asking me to be a part of that movie, and you also made me speak at Allie's funeral, which I did not want to do, but you did, and I'm glad I eventually did it, and I put the eulogy in the book. So a lot of the book does deal with grief and other things
that's
besides just show business stuff and how you keep going after
Something
horrible,
Yes.
and also just not being asked back on TV shows and how you pick yourself up and just keep going. Lizzie, don't be hiding back there. And Doug is there. Oh my God, all these people. I love it.
So what can you tell everybody about, like, why did you do this? Why did you write this book? Was it something that somebody told you to do, or did you go,
I think I did go I always get asked the question of how, as a guy and a young guy, be able to write all these women, and why did it keep happening that we were writing for these women? So I wanted to explain it, and I wanted to honor my grandmother, my mother, and my sister through the book.
because you grew up with mostly women.
Yes, and I gravitated. They were always my best friend, and those days when we would talk on the phone, I miss those of like for hours we would talk on the phone. Now when the phone rings, I'm just like, turn it off.
Yeah.
Don't
answer.
Don't answer. I don't want to talk to anybody. So that's why I did, and then I came up with the title, "The Girls from Golden to Gilmore." I love a good alliteration, and I happened to mention it at the Gilmore Girls Fan Festival. You were probably there, Eris.
I was there.
You were there, and Valerie was there. Probably on one of our panels, and
Yeah.
it was like a big in a big tent with thousands of people,
Wow.
and hundreds.
Where was
No, it was one of
I?
the first ones.
Oh,
It
okay.
was one of the big tents,
Oh, yeah.
and then
Why wasn't I there?
Gilmore Girls.
All right, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, you didn't watch that.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, get out of here. Hi, Diane. So I mentioned it, and then every year we would go back to the festival, and they would always say to me, "Well, where's the book? Where's the book? Where's the book?" And I was like, "Oh, God damn it!" So they became like accountability coaches in a loving way. And then when COVID happened and we were all stuck at home, it was like, all right,
You have to write now.
now you got to do it. And luckily, I did get a publisher, and talking to Darlene, you really helped me focus on how to do that. And
If you could look back at it now, would you say,
don't do it.
oh no, would you say, oh my God, I made a mistake there, or I didn't really need all of this, or do you know what I mean? That's not really how it happened, but I just put that out there.
No, I put a lot down in the first draft. So if you haven't read it, I've been keeping journals since college when we were forced to. For some reason, our modern dance teacher wanted us to write journals. Why modern
What?
dance? Yeah, like, and the fact that she would read them, like that's not cool at all. Well, first she lost them the first year, and then so we started again. So I started journaling, and I'm still journaling. So I journal during all of the shows that we all worked on, and so the first thing I did was pull all those segments out and put them in a separate
That's so interesting. I
doc
missed
on my
that.
computer.
I
Yes.
should have done that.
You should have done that. And then comparing how I felt back then to how I feel now. And so that was easier to start with something rather than just a blank page. So then when I kind of got that idea, and then kept writing, not knowing that the end of the book was going to be about my mother.
Which
That
was
happened.
important. Yes, absolutely.
yes,
That's
so-
great. Did you ever get frustrated because why?
Well, people that work with editors or giving notes on scripts, Darlene, whoops, and Peter too. Yeah, you want someone to just give you a gold star and say it's perfect. You don't have to change it, but that's just not the way of the world. And I was pushed with this book to write more scenes rather than just saying this happened, then that happened. So, but it was actually hard because it was only the second thing I've ever written by myself. The first was my play Right Before I Go, which you were in.
I was? Oh.
See what I have to deal with? So that's the Suicide Note play.
The Suicide Notes,
Yeah,
yes.
and-
So it's different. It was named differently. Okay.
Yeah. So the first time I don't know if people know the story, but we were in Orlando doing it, and it was the first time I put a narrator in it, which was basically me. But I said, just hire somebody old and funny, and they did. And the day before we were supposed to do it, he got a paying gig, and the director said, "Stan, you're in." And we all
And
sat.
he was so good.
But first, we sat down to do a table read. And at the very beginning, I got to my friend's name who had died, and I couldn't say it. And I remember you grabbed my arm here, and you said, "You can do it." And my glasses filled with tears, and I pushed through it.
But you were so perfect for it that I still
Because
think
it's me, yeah.
No, but I still think, you know what I mean? Why not be in that and do that? You know, you should always be who you are. You know?
Yeah, but that's, easier said than done. So I've been doing it all over the country, and saving lives and provoking conversation. We just did it. We just did it. We made a school edition, and we just tried it out at a school in the Valley, which was, you were there. Do you want to say a word about that? That was pretty wild, wasn't it?
Oh no, just thank you for starting that conversation about mental health awareness and talking about suicide prevention. I was honored.
Well, I'm honored that you invited me. Hi, Renee. There you are back there. Yeah, oh my God.
There's more people back there.
There are more people there. So we were asked to do it at Balboa School in the Valley. And it was very interesting because it was the first time we did it for all kids. And they were very quiet. And then we got back their evaluation of the show. And it was so interesting that most of them were boys that responded. And they were very verbal in acknowledging how important it was, and they didn't know, and that how bullying can really affect other kids in school. So I'm hoping we're going to keep doing it all over the place. If anybody knows anybody anywhere, we're ready and willing to do it. Any other questions?
Yes.
Yes. Uh-oh, not you.
No, I do have a question.
Yes.
I never thought to ask you this, even though I've interviewed you.
Destiny.
Hi.
Hi, Destiny is my fantastic assistant director. We're at the Road Theater Company opening April 12th. High maintenance, please come to that.
Donna and Tamika are here.
Oh my God, where are they? Yeah. And Lauren's a part of the company too. There's Donna, my brilliant producer. Yes.
My question is
Yeah.
now for Tamika. I don't
Okay.
want to talk to you.
Okay. Where is
No, here's
Tamika?
my question.
She's right here. Why did you have a question for Tamika?
No,
No. He doesn't know you. Love you though. Hi. Yeah.
when you looked at your journals,
Yes.
and to pull out these things, did you find something else that was a theme running through all of it that you could have pulled for a different book?
I'm not writing another book. There
Was
could
there
be.
a running theme that you know?
What?
So you say.
So you say. I mean, there could be a book, The Men in My Life, and that could be a whole other story. But no. But what I did see that I didn't really realize was, for people that don't know, Jim and I were told to be in the closet on Golden Girls, and people are kind of surprised today that on such a progressive show, and they just like, how can you do your best work when you have to close up who you really are at your job? And
But what year was that? That was
85, yeah.
Wow.
But a few shows with it, and it's interesting because it's a theme in the movie with Allie's movie. Very similar time frame of hiding who you are. Yeah. So how do you keep going? And
That was a theme.
yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. I just and then I get asked that a lot in podcasts, and I think what I've like, how did you do it? And I thought, well, we had so many years growing up from a young age where we were told it was bad of who we were, so you end up hiding it. So that by the time I got to my early 20s and out here, I had it down pat. You know, I knew how to joke my way out of a question, or unfortunately. So and then
you played the game.
we played the game. But then I've also thought, so what would have really happened if we would have just come out? Would people have just stopped hiring us? I don't know. We were too scared to see that outcome. You.
While we're on this topic,
A Golden Girls aficionado over there.
could you share with everyone what Estelle Getty told you in regards
She just said she'd keep it the secret.
She said you're one of us.
Oh, you're one of us, yeah. So, the
nice.
first day that we were on the set with the other actors, she just took a look at us, and I guess her gaydar went off. And she was like, "Come here." And then she's like this tall, and she starts scurrying off behind the set. And we're like, I look at Jim, I don't know, I guess we gotta follow her. And we followed her, and she was like, "Your secret's safe with me." And I think I said, "You mean that we're Jewish?" And she's like, "No, you're gay." I'm like, "Oh, well, I know that." So I often wonder, I would love to have talked to her, like, did she ever tell anybody? Did she talk to B. Arthur? Because B. Arthur was such a supporter of the LGBT community. But the minute she did that, we were fast friends, and I passed her apartment just on the way here, and I often do when I drive down Hollywood Boulevard, because I remember when she invited me to a birthday party. It was like a second or third floor.
So somebody is living in her place now?
No, it's a shrine, Mindy.
Oh.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they cleaned it out.
No, I
and
know,
they
but what I'm
saved
saying
it.
is, that
It
must
should
be
be a
an
museum.
exciting thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah,
like
by the way.
ghost of the Stalgeri. There you go. If we can animate it, okay, let's get writing. See, we got a show there. But I remember I went, she said, "Oh, come to my birthday party." And I don't know what I was thinking. I just thought it would be, me and some gay guys, which it normally was with her. But then all of a sudden, I remember Rue McClanahan and Betty White came in together. They drove together. And it was just like a regular birthday party, and I'm just sitting on a regular couch and like,
Smoking pot?
holy fuck, I wish, yeah. No, I don't think they smoked it, but. Yes.
And Estelle had hosted monthly or weekly dinners. What were those like?
I wasn't monthly, but she would often say, "Come to dinner with me," and I put that in the book, and I thought it was just me having dinner with Estelle Getty, and then it would be like a table full of the entire cast of Torch Song Trilogy and the Road Company and the off-Broadway version. But I was just glad to be there. But there's a spot when I sit at my desk in my home when I remember Estelle calling, and we would just talk, and she would love to give advice like a good Jewish mother. And she was out here by herself. She wasn't, her husband was in Florida.
So she stayed the whole time without her husband?
Well, that's a whole other story.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a whole other story. Yeah, I'll tell you at the London.
All right.
Any other questions? Anybody? Yes.
Stan.
Hi.
Hi,
How are you?
Hi, Mindy.
Hi, how are
Very
you?
good. So you get a phone call tomorrow. Big studio.
Uh-oh.
Any
Yeah,
series.
that won't happen. But
Any series you ever wrote on, they're gonna bring it back. You're gonna be the showrunner. What series and why?
And am I in it?
I don't think I have a choice. Oh wow, that's a good question. I would love to reboot Rita Rocks, actually. I just love that idea. We wrote that on spec, and Jim and I loved Roseanne, and we loved American Idol, so we mixed kind of the two, and we created a musical sitcom about a housewife that had lost her mojo, and she pulled her guitar down from the rafters and started a garage band, and it was super cool. And Todd was fantastic, so fantastic. We have to bring you back very often. Started with 5 lines or less, so take that, actors. Remember that.
I was in it too.
Yes, I did drag you into it. I dragged my friends into. I dragged Randy. I dragged into a few things. Yes. Anything else? Any questions? Diane, you've heard all these stories over a lot of wine. So we went to the French castle and the mentoring thing, so that was really cool. But not Gilmore. I would have said Roseanne, actually. So for years before they did reboot it, Jim and I would say, what would the Connors think of this and that politically? And so when they did come back, it was really interesting. And then
Did you like the reboot?
I loved it in the beginning, but then when she went off the rails, and as you probably have seen, and I talked about on CNN, I felt there was a missed opportunity to talk about what she had done and racism and all of her craziness, but that wasn't to be. She just blamed Ambien, and here we are. And then when she left the show, I felt there was a hole missing in the show. Because when we were there, it was always Roseanne had to drive every episode, whether she was in the scene or not. It was always Roseanne. So it felt like there was something missing. So I was hoping they would take the Darlene character and make her the new Roseanne. And I don't think kind of quite did that. So then
Do you
I,
think it's? What do you think of it now?
I mean,
just
I'm
not the
glad it's
same.
on. I love all the actors on it. I mean, I could watch Laurie Metcalf do anything.
I know.
And but yeah, it's not something I would watch. I don't.
What do you watch?
I watched The Gilded Age. My friend Michael Aisla. I really, really love that show.
What is it
And
called?
The Gilded Age on HBO Max.
Who's in it?
Everybody that's ever been on Broadway.
Oh.
Turn on your TV.
Why haven't I seen that? What is it on?
Cynthia Nixon.
HBO. Got
Max.
it. All right, HBO. Max.
So I really, really like that. And I'm very busy directing plays, and we keep doing Diary of Anne Frank, and I hope to keep doing that because it's obviously a very important subject that kids just don't know about who Anne Frank
And
is.
especially how you sort of changed it and made something really interesting about it. So that's what's so good about you is you always had a different take on things. You weren't going to be and settle for, we'll just do what everybody else does. Right?
That's my new passion now, is marrying art and advocacy together. And so that's, I think more than doing a TV show, that's kind of where we want to be. And I really love being in the theater and hearing you laugh and hearing audiences laugh or hearing them cry. There's just something, it's just so close to your heart, and it's super cool that you can do that. So if there's one more, we'll move on. We'll go drink. Anything else? Yeah, let's go drink. If anybody wants to come to the London, we're gonna
What
be
is it?
there.
Where is it?
It's around the corner. Someone will escort you there. You'll follow
All
off the
right,
stage.
all right.
But thank you all for coming out. It means so much to see all your beautiful faces.
Yay,
And thank you for supporting me all these years. And I love you guys.